Courage is a person's ability to cope with fear and take action. A courageous person accepts challenges, expresses themselves, acts in difficult situations, stands up to injustice, takes responsibility, and moves confidently and consciously toward their goal, overcoming both physical obstacles and psychological pressure. Some dictionaries treat courage as a synonym for bravery. However, bravery often implies quick, decisive actions, frequently involving life-threatening risks and a willingness to sacrifice oneself for something important. Recklessness is sometimes mistaken for courage, but courage is a rational and constructive character trait. A reckless person lacks awareness, is obsessed with an idea, and may harm themselves or others in pursuit of it. Where courage comes from. When a person faces danger or stress, the brain triggers one of the fight-flight-freeze responses, regardless of whether it's a wild animal attack or a scolding from the boss. This evolutionary defense mechanism was first described by psychologist Walter Cannon in his 1915 book, The Physiology of Emotions: Bodily Changes in Pain, Hunger, Fear, and Rage. In short, it works like this. The brain's amygdala signals danger, and the prefrontal cortex and ventral striatum evaluate the situation to determine the appropriate response. According to psychiatrist Daniela Schiller, some people are wired to be more courageous and action-oriented than others. Past experience also plays a major role in how someone behaves under stress. When facing a familiar situation, you're more likely to know what to do. For example, people who survived Hurricane Katrina were better prepared to handle another major storm, Hurricane Gustav. Although courage isn't considered an innate trait, it tends to manifest early in people with leadership potential. But for most people, it's a learned quality, developed by repeatedly facing tough challenges and overcoming fear. Signs of courage. You can recognize a courageous person by their behavior. They aren't afraid to say no. They openly express their opinions, even if unpopular. They defend the vulnerable. And they're willing to be the first to try something new. They persevere in the face of failure. They take responsibility instead of shifting blame. And they believe in themselves. They know it's normal to feel fear and doubt. They are aware of their strengths and weaknesses and accept them. Why courage matters. Courage is what helps us bridge the gap between who we are and who we could be, between the life we live and the life we dream of, says psychologist Margie Worrell, author of Brave. Margie is herself a courageous person. She recalls how she left a remote Australian village to study in a big city, and after graduation, set off on a round-the-world trip with nothing but a backpack. In her TED Talk, Margie Worrell explains that people tend to overestimate the chances of something going wrong and underestimate themselves. She believes we all walk a tightrope between the desire for comfort and the urge to take risks. But in reality, we flourish and thrive most when we strive toward meaningful goals that give us a sense of purpose. Goals that inevitably bring challenges and expose us to the very emotions we most want to avoid: rejection, disappointment, pain, heartbreak. Yes, courage comes at a cost. A person who defends others risks facing aggression, getting bruised, or worse. Someone who speaks their mind may experience discomfort when others don't agree. It's easier and safer to stay silent and uninvolved. The question is, how much do we lose if we don't act courageously? How to train courage. Courage is a skill you can train, says Margie Worrell. You can do it in 3 steps. 1. Understand why stepping out of your comfort zone matters. Why do I want to be courageous? 2. Commit to consciously and consistently practicing brave actions every day. 3. Decide which acts of courage to start with.